Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is where you are, and welcome back to another episode on the Annoyed Dad channel. As you can see, we're actually down the farm today, and the chickens have been able to turn this into quite a mud pool with the amount of rain we've been having just of late. I must apologise for the lack of videos. It's been mainly because of technology issues and where I've recorded stuff, and then I've had gremlins on the audio, and they've basically gone all over it, and it's just been horrible to listen to. So I was like, no, can't do that. So I'm having to revert back to a camera that I was using ages ago. So anyway, you can see me pointing at the back of a shed here, and you're probably thinking, yeah, that's a nice looking ladder and a gas bottle, but why is he pointing at it? Well, the reason being is because today I've got a few jobs to do, and I've reverted back to this old phone. So we're going to go through some of these jobs, and we're going to look and see what we're doing. So this is a shed that I inherited that was on here on the land when I bought the land. Believe it or not, it's been nearly a year since we brought this place. But there's a leak in the roof, and you might see just up there, there's a tyre, and it's not far from that tyre underneath. It looks as if the roof has been patched and repaired about 20 million times. So I'm going to whip that off today whilst it's not raining still. You know, I don't hold out much hope. I think we might be getting some rain at some point. But yeah, let's have a look and have a look, see what we can come up with and how we can repair that. Because I've got some little ones in there and I don't want them getting too wet. Okay, so up here on the roof, I just chucked down the tyre that was up here. But you can see how that's flapping, and that was obviously holding that on. But then we got some bits of wood up here as well. So yeah, let's clear out them. This is a piece of felt I just slid in there the other day when it was absolutely hammering it down with rain, and that stopped 80% of the water getting through inside. So if I grab off these bits of wood, and then we'll try to grab off these metal sheets, and we'll have a close look and see what is actually going on here. So with all those bits out of the way, you can see that somebody's obviously put these metal sheets on here at some point, which has obviously helped out, I would have thought, to some extent, because it would just allow the water just to run straight off. But then the metal sheets have obviously rotted away, or they weren't long enough in the first place as it was. And if I get branches out of my face, there we go, you can then see that there's a hole straight through underneath, so that's not very good. And this has been refelted. Well, that's one layer of felt, and then if you look up there, you can see where there's another layer of felt laying up on top of it. So what we need to do is we need to really, ideally, slide a board in underneath there to cover that all up. Well, ideally, no, let me get this straight, because I know some people who watch my channel are going to be cringing at this right now. They're going to go, no! So because this is basically mush, like look at that, that's mush. It's no good. But I don't want to change the whole shed, because what I'm plan is next year is that these are going and something new's coming in its place, but that will be discussed at a later date. So what I'm just going to do for now, just for a quick repair on it, I'm just going to get a piece of board, slide that under, and then I'm probably going to felt from the top down, try and slide it underneath these sheets, because it's only here that's leaking. Here and up there is fine, it's just down here that it's leaking. So if I slide a board in, and then if I work from the top, well, work from the bottom up, so as any overlaps, the water's just going to flow straight off the top of them and flow down, and go from there. So yeah, crack on with that, and I will cut you back in when there's something interesting to see. Well, that weren't easy to slide that in, but there we go. It's just a piece of hardboard, nothing special whatsoever, but it's in there, and it's going from the top down to the bottom. Actually, this piece of hardboard, I'm not going to show you the other side of it because it's got art on it, and I do art in those sort of ways. Basically, we had a picture on the wall at home that the missus wanted me to put up 5 years ago, and I was like, seriously? She was like, yeah, I love it, it'd be lovely up on the wall. So it's been up on our wall for 5 years, and then finally she saw sense not so long ago. So on the other side of this is the artwork that was up on our wall. I'm not going to show you, because knowing my luck, there'll be someone out there who'll turn around and go, oh, that's a Wayne Kerr original, it's worth £3 million. Yeah, and I've just used it as a bit on the roof there. So anyway, that's in. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to cover it in some felt. Again, I'm going to slide the felt underneath the metal sheets, and we'll just basically go from the top to the bottom here, and fingers crossed that should then cure our problems with leaks. And here we go, a quick, easy, dirty fix to it. Just 2 old scrap pieces of felt that I had kicking around. So any water that comes down, because they're overlapping, the top is overlapping the bottom, any water that comes down, it can't flow back or underneath it. It's just going to flow straight down and off the back of the roof here. Oh, I just found a loose bit. I need to nail that bit in. I forgot about that. Right, let's go and have a walk around the farm and catch you up on a few little bits and pieces. Well, we may as well start off in here. I think in here is as good a place as any. I do apologise for the echo. That's where the leak was coming from, up there. You can see it, it's minging down here. So I've just cleaned them out. I've just given them some new straw in here. They didn't have straw before. They had wood chippings. And wood chippings mixed with chick crumb mixed with water is like a porridgey, smelly, horrible, nasty soup thing. Now, I have done other videos which have had technical issues which explain about this thing here. This is what's called a gas brooder. And for the friends on the other side of the pond, when we say gas, we mean gas as in the air gas, not gas as in the liquid that goes in your car that's also called petroleum. So this runs off of propane, and you would have seen when we just done the other bit, there was the propane tank just outside. And it's brilliant. It's great at heating chicks, and it's able to keep them warm. But one of those standard size tanks of propane, when it's turned down to, I think I had it on 3 out of 10. It was turned right the way down, 3 out of 10. Nice, slow, little heat. The tank lasted 3 days. And that tank cost me £39. So I just sort of like went, yeah, okay, I've used it once and now it's strapped to the side of the wall and it can stay there for as far as I'm concerned because I'm not going to use it again. And if we just look through here, there is still some work to do on the brooder, don't worry about that. We've got everybody down there, they're all hiding in the corner because I scattered down the straw. So everybody's hiding from us at the minute. These are some of our recent hatches. There's various mixed breeds in there. Obviously the ones going through everything at the minute are the light Sussex, and the reason why we want them is because they are good egg laying birds and they are good meat birds as well. We'll go around and we'll see another light Sussex in just a minute, which is one of the daddies. And you can see we've got various other breeds in there, but they're all hiding in the corner. They'll be out in just a second. So let's go and see what else we got. Just before we do, I will just point out though that the gas thing is incredibly expensive to keep the heat in there. It's megally expensive. And I just pulled this out because I just cleaned them out. But it's one of the heat plates. And there's various brands that do these, and there's lots of them about. So I've got that instead. And that is run off of the solar batteries. So where we've got the solar panels, they then charge up the batteries, and that runs off of that. And that runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week when we need it. They don't actually need it anymore, as you saw. They're old enough to be off the heat. But yeah, that's worked out fantastically well. So let's go for a walk through the chickens and the turkeys and everything, and I'll explain why there haven't been very many videos going up of late as we walk and we talk along. You can see just in the back there's that black and white chicken, not the Moran. This is a Moran, this one here, he's a Moran. That one there, that's a light Sussex. That's the big boy, the daddy. Well, he's not the daddy, but he's the brother of the daddy. So those ones we just saw. So that's a nice big sized bird, good enough for the table sort of thing. So yeah, let's go around this way and we'll go and see the geese and see how unhappy with me they are. See, we've had a lot of rain, everything's turned to mud again. So these are the Dulaptaloozes. And it is that time of year where they just are not happy with me at all. If we jump in here with the Franconians, well, we've got the Franconians and Mr. A. It's a bit of a sad story, really. So these girls, they built their nest just in here. I think I've still got one sat on a nest. Yeah, I don't think her nest is going to do anything. You can see her just in there, hopefully. See her? Hello, Mrs. Goose. She's hiding. So yeah, they built their nest in there. You can see where there's some old eggs. And they hatched out 3. And there were 2 girls in there. And they were doing fantastically well. And then I came down one night and I could just hear one of them chirping. I couldn't hear the three of them. So I was able to whip him out quickly. And then once the girls got off the nest, I could see at the very, very back of the nest was where the other two were. And it looked as if they might have stood on them when they were moving around at some point during the night or something like that. It was a little bit upsetting. But anyway, so we got 3 goslings at home. I'll do a video on them in a minute. This noisy one here, this one we've... No, you're there, aren't you? Yeah, I was going to say it didn't sound quite right. This one here's my little friend. This is one we've named Sherbet, and it tends to follow me about everywhere. So yeah, let's go around here, and I will get back on the subject of why there haven't been very many videos. So, you know, for the last year, the whole world's been going through this thing with the coronavirus, and it has screwed up a lot of people, and it's stopped a lot of things. And one of the things it has done is it's meant that my business have virtually ground to a halt. A lot of you don't know what I do, but I work in property, and we basically deal with empty properties from the time they're empty to the time they're sold. We provide a range of services, and there hasn't been much moving going on, there haven't been many repossessions going on, there hasn't been much happening whatsoever. So we have sort of ran out of work, and I started to look at things. I thought if anything like this was to ever happen again, then we need a way of being able to make money. So I signed myself up on a course for a little service that I've been doing on the side, sort of like thing, to get the proper qualification for it. And so 3 weeks in April I was doing that. It was spread over 2 days, but I normally allow like a day, maybe 2 days a week to get these videos up. So yeah, I've been doing that course, and I think I passed. I might have passed. I'll let you know if I pass. Hopefully I pass, but it'll mean that it's a service I can offer that I don't need to be reliant on anything else. It's going to be a constant year-round service. So that's why the videos dropped off the cliff. That combined with the issues I've had with the technology, the cameras. Here's my little friend, he follows me everywhere. With the audio and everything else like that. So the reason why I'm stood here is because in here there are actually some bees. There are some bees, honest, trust me. They're just not flying at the minute because it's so wet. Now what you can do with these, you can't do this with most other hives, so don't try this at home. I've done it with these earlier. So between the hives and the top there is actually a piece of plastic, and you can see them busily working away in there. The reason why they're not flying at the minute is 1, because it's not quite warm enough, and 2, because it is showers. I'm filming these in between the showers. So these come from our other place. We had a hive there that had done incredibly well over the winter, and it had come into spring and they had built up really, really quickly. So if you don't know, over the winter the number of bees within a hive drop right down, and then spring arrives, the queen starts laying again, and she just starts firing them out, and they can build up really, really quickly, which is what this hive done. And so obviously they hatch out the bees, and the hive gets pretty full, and it comes to the point where they're going to swarm. So what I've done was what's called a split. So I actually split that one hive up into 3. So I've got these guys here, and I've got another 2 up at the old place. But yeah, that's the first ones that have moved in. But because of the weather we've been having, it's been horrible, absolutely horrible. We've had it dry for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, and then bosh, we just had nothing but rain, so it's turned everything nasty again. These are the 2 for £10 trees we got from Tesco's, and they don't seem to be doing too badly. Oh, I need to sort out my weed control fabric. What I've done is I've put this weed control stuff down, this black stuff here, because that is where the pumpkins are going to be planted. So we'll be able to get them in very soon. They're actually in trays at home just at the minute, just waiting for them to propagate, as they say. And grapevines, they're coming through nicely. So yeah, there's plenty going on. Let's jump in and we'll take a look around the other side and we'll see what we're doing there. Just before we do, another reason why there haven't been too many videos going up of late is because I've been doing some fencing, which is alright if you're interested in fencing and if you're able to make the fencing slightly half interesting for people to see. But you can see along the back here there's like lighter colour poles. That's where we've been doing some fencing, and yeah, it's pretty boring. It's pretty boring to do, it's pretty boring to film, so I've left it not filming it. But that's been a big job, that's been a major job, it's been a job that's needed to be done, and we've done it, thankfully. Right, come on then, geese, out the way, because I'm going around the back. So here we are in the orchard, and you can see we've still got apple blossom looking lovely on the trees. I'm not 100% sure on this tree. This is a tree that when we bought the place last year, it actually looked dead. I think it's a lime, but I'm not sure. Anybody able to guess from those leaves? If you can, leave it down in the description below. Not the description, the comments below for us. So these are either blackberries or red currants or something like that, and you can see, if I hold it, see how they're starting to form up already on the bushes, and there's lots more of the blossom all over the place. So in here we're doing quite well. We do have one issue. I need to get in here with the lawnmower. But if you remember back to last year when we bought the place, it was about 6 foot high with stuff, and we trimmed it all back and we cut it all back, and you can see now that what we've been left with is there is little bits of grass here and there. There is a ton of stinging nettles. These things here, they're stinging nettles, you don't want to touch them. And there's a ton of thistles as well. So we need to get in here with the lawnmower, just basically trim it all back, and then try to get it so as it becomes a grassy area. Because that's what we want. We want grass, we don't want thistles and stinging nettles. And this round here, you can see I've trimmed up a few little bits and pieces, but I thought I had one rhubarb crown, which was going to be like this one here. Let's see if we do that. Look at those sticks of rhubarb. Oh, nearly ready for harvesting they are. They are going to feel fantastic in my belly. Look at that, lovely rhubarb crumble. I thought I had one crown of rhubarb, but actually it turns out I've had 5 crowns of rhubarb, which is quite handy. So what we'll do now is we will cut to home, and I will show you what I've got going on at home at the minute, because there's loads happening. And here we go at home. You can see we got some light Sussex chicks. So those black and white ones we were looking at earlier on in the video, and these are basically their offspring, and these have just started out to hatch. I think we're up to 7 so far. We've got a few more in there to go, but these are hatching in my big curfew incubator, and then just above them we've got what I believe is going to be the last of our goose eggs, and then just above them we got some turkey eggs that are due to go into lockdown tomorrow, I think. So yeah, that's looking really good. And hiding away in here in a brooder, they were cleaned out this morning, so you can see how messy they get. Can you hear them? There is actually hiding underneath there are 3 goslings, 3 little baby geese. So these are the ones I took off the mum. There's one we hatched out here ourselves, and then the other 2 they came off the mum. I had to take them off the mums up at the farm. But these are Franconian geese, so they are rare breeds, and they will be going back up the farm very, very soon. And what else we got? So just over the back here we've got the Archon with 3 eggs in. You can see that one there. Oh, if I get out the light, there you go. You can see that one there's just pipped, that one in the middle, that's just pipped, and they're meant to be Jersey Giants. We have got 2 Jersey Giants in another brooder, but I'm not going to go all the way through that. And you can see that the Brinsea Ovation EX24 has got more light Sussex chickens in it. So these are all going to hatch. So what I plan to do is I do plan to do a video on its own with the geese, because the goslings have got such individual and like personalities. They're amazing creatures. I love little goslings, but I've banned the wife from having any at home this year, because we ended up with 6 at home last year, I believe it was. So they're all going at the farm. But yeah, I plan to do a video on them all again. So hopefully, fingers crossed now, videos will get back to the normal Monday and Thursday schedule heading forward. Thank you so much for watching. If you have not already done so, please do hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, leave us a comment down in the description below, and then once you've done all of that, go and make yourself a cup of tea and have a biscuit as well. And until the next video, thank you so much for watching this far. Goodbye.